Good morning. Good morning. Namaste. I was just thinking this morning that after a month, so we started this project of looking for a word, a feeling word in the tarot cards. And on the 12th of December was the first day. So on the 12th of January, or thereabouts, I thought I would do a recap. And if you can gather all of your words into a place where you can make some observations, that I would do a recap about that date, so that you kind of know what the next step is. And I might do that as a workshop. So just putting that out there if you're interested. I already know what my word is for today. Do you know I've never done this practice with tarot cards, so I am. It's interesting. It's interesting. All right. Namaste. Good morning to Mary Beth and Donna. Angela, hello. And I did message Gabby to see if we can get some info on when her shop is opening, because I know some people don't have the stick and are getting interested in it. So yeah. So my feeling word for today, wow. First impression here is that she's really dressed up. It's like she's dressed for church or something. But she's also, no, she's in her bed and she's painting, but she's very dressed up. At least it looks that way to me. The way her hair is done. You know, in a lot of these photos, she's looking out of the photo, and it's almost as if the right eye is more focused on something than the left. Does she want to be dressed up? Is this for a photo shoot? Is this to make herself feel good? Is she in the process of doing a self-portrait? Well, really, every painting was a self-portrait. I can't really pick up the... well, there is one little association. I was going to say I can't pick up my word, so my word for today I thought was going to be exhausted. And all those palettes are dripping red. You see there's a mirror down at the bottom with her face. Sorry, I'm having like I said, I'm having a hard time coming up with a word, and it is, how does this make me feel? I feel like she has been she's been dressed. Someone has dressed her. You know, she's been made to look the way she is supposed to look, or they need her to look for the press or the public or something. Because I know the public did come into her bedroom for, there was groups that came in for lessons, but also she was put on display from time to time. And I can't think of one word that is that would represent, like putting your best foot forward regardless of how you are feeling. Putting your best face forward regardless of how you are feeling. Yeah. Almost like she's got, you've got so many things in the air. So many things in the air. Persevere. Yeah, let's go with that. And actually that fits really nicely with the moon in Sagittarius. Okay. Thank you for that help. So what is the opposite of that? I think it's, it's giving up. It's going into the cave. It's quitting. Illusion is a great word as well, too. But I'm going to put this in terms of, I can definitely relate to persevere. And I am going to, the opposite word will be to, I don't know. I feel like I want to write down retreat. What would be the opposite of retreat? Retreat. Well, I know what this means to me. And it's funny, in a way, and good morning to Clevis, this week at school, there is a theme every day of what you are to wear for the holidays. And it is exhausting having to think about your decorations every day. Yeah, give up. I think give up is much better than retreat. All right. I need to go find some tinsel to bedazzle myself this morning before I leave. Yes, it does. And now that the moon is in Sagittarius as well, too, it is. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy. And remember that question. I think it's an important one to keep reminding yourself of this week. Well, I guess until tomorrow, right? Until tomorrow, because we're going to switch energies. Well, the new moon is tomorrow, and then the sun goes into Capricorn in a couple of days. So we have a couple of days yet to look to that inspiration and decide whether we're going to, it's time to step back, or are we micromanaging that? Yeah. The moon is balsamic. And I've got new moon in Sagittarius is Friday at 5:43 p.m. All right. So as a reminder to myself that one of the important tarot tips that I suggest frequently is to get out your foundational decks and use them. And I am going to use one of my foundational decks today. I'm going to use my Centennial Waite Smith for the activity. Donna just listened to Molly. Such a great word for this time. And when you look at that in terms of how the tarot cards come together, it's quite discombobulating. All right, so 78 cards in the deck, and there are 13 lunar cycles, right? 13 lunar cycles in a year, 78 cards in the deck. That means that in the deck we have 6 cards per lunar cycle. Got that? Math? Perfect. Even number in the tarot deck. So, this is something that is really kind of fun to do, and that is to look at the tarot deck as a calendar. And you can look ahead as far as you want. But just know that if we lay out all 78 cards in groups of 6, you would have the next 6, the lunar cycles, right? And you could spend time diarizing and making notes on the year ahead, right? So that's one way to do a year ahead reading with all 78 cards. What I want to do is to look at, so we have the new moon tomorrow, and I just kind of want to look ahead for this next lunar cycle and compare the next couple of lunar cycles and just do this calendar exercise with you, because I think it's a great one to do. Another important thing, there's so many layers to this reading. So this comes through cartomancy, and there's also these lovely patterns in a group of 52 cards. So you can also do this as playing cards. It works a little differently. But one thing that one thing that you can do after you've shuffled, and you can cut the cards if you want to, is to think of a topic card or a significator in advance. You can also not even worry about that, just simply use it as a calendar and look to the energy around certain dates. And I'm just thinking if there's how far ahead I want to go. And I think I'm going to go to spring break and just kind of see for me. I'm not going to do that. We don't have that much time this morning, but I'm just going to look over the holidays. What is the energy over the holidays in this way, and probably the best use of my limited energy. Okay? All right. So, I feel like cutting. So this is tomorrow, final new moon of 2025. This is the next new moon. Right? And this is 2 new moons away. So if you're looking at this in terms of a lunar cycle, and this is the new moon, and this is would be the balsamic moon. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you don't have an odd number. It's really nice with an odd number to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel that the full moon happens sort of over this particular energy here, but also you can assign phases to these 6 cards, right? I would love to have a seventh card in this group, but that's not the way it works with the tarot. So I'm going to kind of look over this will be the full moon energy, and divide this into the dates of the next month. Okay. So I'm just going to spread them out so you can see them all. So when I look at this as a calendar, I'm thinking, okay, so right away, the first thing that strikes me is I haven't decorated. I told you, so I'm busy. And there's certain traditions that I was up even earlier than normal, maybe dreaming about them, traditions that I want to make sure that I fulfill, and putting energy into those traditions feels important to me. It feels like a connection. It feels like a connection to my mother, my family. It feels like it's something that will help ground me. It feels like it's something that will help to ground me. So I am certainly not displeased to see the Hierophant there. And let me just get the calendar out. Okay, so the full moon energy is after the new year, so around the 3rd and the 4th. And you could also, so this is something that I'm thinking as well too, you can also take these phases of the moon, and if you're doing some planning, you could use the card for the days around your planning as your significator, and then do an expanded reading for that period of time. This pause right here is me. It's me thinking about, and I'm still contemplating doing Tarot Card of the Year readings. And I'm looking at this figure here going, yeah, it's just me humming and hawing about what that is going to look like. And I think also this is a lovely card for me to have through winter solstice and the carrying on of traditions. And I think having winter solstice on this weekend is really beautiful because I actually have time to prepare for it and honor it in a very special way. So that really makes sense to me. And then as the moon begins to wax, I can move into this energy of the Ten of Pentacles, which is a lot more pentacles, a lot more things in this physical realm. But there definitely is some planning to be done, but I think I can give myself a few days before I have to make any decisions. It's not something I have to decide immediately, and that's really kind of nice for me. So I one of the things I love about this sort of calendar practice is the ability to lay out all of the cards. So laying out the entire pack in columns of 6, and then you'll have to have a moon calendar, because you can't necessarily go January, February, March, April, May. It doesn't really fit that way, because you're going to have 13 piles. So you're going to need to look and see in which lunar cycle, if you want to say do planning for your birthday, how that falls, or if there's certain events. And the event that I really want to look at is around spring break and what's happening there. So this is, I think it's something really fun to do with the tarot in terms of using the tarot deck as a calendar. So, and it's just kind of amazing that the 78 cards divide perfectly into 13. So, yeah. If you didn't already know that, I hope it... I'm just going to leave these ones here and make a few notes. At some point today. My son arrives today, and he is just back from Kathmandu and a trip in northern India with his girlfriend, and I just can't wait to hear his stories. I'm going to pull a few cards for further reflection today, and I think I'm going to use the Hierophant as a significator. Tradition, honoring personal, family, community traditions, cultural traditions, those that we have learned and added to our tradition base as adults. Is there anything about honoring tradition that is important to bring to the forefront at this time? Thank you for supporting these ongoing morning reflections and bringing this group together. All right, where are you? So stately, isn't he? So stately. I love this guy in this deck. Do you know, this is one of my favorite Seven of Swords. I love the way that Druidcraft displays that energy. Okay, so where is the Hierophant? And I don't see any emails in my inbox saying, Sadhana, I would love to join you on a live stream. Did you forget to message me? Where are you? Okay, found them. Found them. And yes, the Ten of Pentacles is quite a traditional card. And I love that this high priest has his feet in the dirt. Moon. The moon is right next to the high priest. Moon, that just makes me... Honoring lunar cycles and lunar energy is just really potent for me. And I just love just the very simple practice of honoring the energy of particularly full and new moons. And this Three of Cups, oh my goodness. You know, if this were a full moon, this is my full moon card. And the Tower. Okay, so let's just put these all down and see what the High Priest has to say about honoring traditions. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this card, I also want to note, was near the top of the pack. What is that? It's just right there, right? So important, relevant, right at the top. The Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands and the Lady are on the right side. Feels like quite contrasting cards on either side. Nine of Wands and the Moon. And then we have another water card and another fire card. And the Lady partners with the Tower. All right, so this is really interesting combination. So we have major, minor, minor, major, minor, minor, major. Oh, it's not a minor. Okay, so it's not a pattern. What do I want to say here? I want to say something about this, how relevant this is in Sagittarius. I also want to, gosh, what is this saying? I kind of just want to focus on these two cards right here. And yet there's something quite relevant about the Three of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Almost looks like in the Seven of Wands, rather than defending traditions, this figure is looking out to see who is arriving. Thinking of perseverance on the right side, as we talked earlier on Frida's card. The tradition that I wish everyone in the world would follow is peace on earth, goodwill to all. That's lovely. You know, on the right side, I'm also thinking too that there is there's some work to do. There's some work to do. There's some things to, you know, there's some doing that is required. And I love the Lady holding space there for tradition. And yes, that Moon Empress Lady is wonderful feminine energy to slow down the doing as well too, and just be in the joy of company. I texted my son yesterday and I said that I'm not ready for Christmas, so to speak. And this is going to be a really low-key visit this weekend because he's just coming for a few days before Christmas. And, he says, perfect, Mom. And I'm just thinking here that, certainly these two cards reflect the energy of just enjoying each other's company, and what a gift just to be together and be in the peace of that. And yet, Nine of Wands also has a really powerful message in that you have done so much to get to where you are. It's incredible. It's crazy all that you have done. Look out over your path and just let all of those wonderful things shine upon you. You are amazing. Step back and have a look at all that you have done, because it's truly beautiful, and celebrate all that you have done. And in a way, the sun illuminates on one side and the moon illuminates on the other side. It's enough. It's enough. Yeah. Lovely, lovely message, Dee. So thanks, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.